Greetings everyone. This is going to be a all signs general reading for a hero's journey spread inspired by A Hero with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell. Just a little brainstorming exercise and go through the steps of the hero's journey from the status quo through the underworld, through the return to the new status quo. So let's start this reading. Status quo. Page of Pentacles. So this is about a new endeavor, a new resource available, pursuing some type of treasure. So the hero is naive a little bit unskilled, without a little bit of knowledge, but you see they have that little ball of light in their hand of inspiration on what life might hold for them. So here's the call to adventure, or the refusal of the call, and we have the Eight of Wands. So this is swiftness, something happening quickly, some sudden change or message. Could be a wish or a thought being blown out there into the wind, some manifestation that you're sending into the universe, just to see what comes back to you, and something you're passionate about, some desire that you have. Maybe it would be for a job, for money, for love, for some creative interests, just something to come back to you and say, here, is this what you want? Often in manifestation, that's what occurs, right? We put something out there and we just wait to see what'll come about it. Is that saying, be careful what you wish for, because, things will happen. So let's go on to the aid from the supernatural on this call to adventure. And here we have the Seven of Swords. Ooh. So it looks like could have been up to no good there. Somebody getting away with something maybe that they shouldn't have been getting away with. And we'll see where that goes. I'm not sure how that's the supernatural aid yet, but we'll find out. What's crossing the threshold here is the Eight of Swords. So we go from the Seven of Swords to the Eight of Swords. So there's a little bit of entanglement. So what I'm starting to pick up is that our journey into the underworld, into the supernatural world, the world of the unknown, might be stressful. Looks like there could be some anxiety involved about where things are going to go. And there's just so much going on. Maybe you're stuck at home. Maybe your finances just aren't providing enough for you to get out there. But if you see, there's this hummingbird just wrapped up in light up there, and so I think this card represents a lot of doubt when we're crossing the threshold. So that we could be taking an inner journey right here, and to really get inside we have to kind of focus on the light of that hummingbird rather than the entanglement that we feel from the inner critic, the inner doubter. So what happens as we go through our test trials and make our approaches? The Ace of Pentacles. So this is a potentiality. So I think when we focus on that inner light, that inner voice that is confident, that's singing a song, and not focus on the doubter, then the potential and the possibilities open up to us. So we have that pentacle right there, that opportunity presenting itself. So what happens in the inner cave? This is probably could be the hero's darkest moment, but here we see the Queen of Cups. She's walking along the water, and if you see, there's the deep right there. So she's looks like she's almost in the ocean, walking in the deep, going within the self, with the arms stretched out in both directions, feeling everything on the inside and just accepting it, embracing it, walking through it, and just being okay with it, being comfortable with oneself in the situation that one is in. So we're in the inner world definitely at this time. What is the flight out of the cave? And it's the King of Cups. So we're going from the Queen to the King, someone going with the flow, to someone a little bit more stable, holding their cup. I think with this card, what we could do is really embrace the inner confidence, the inner fulfillment, knowing that life is going to have its ups and downs. But you have everything you need inside of you. That cup is full. So really holding it tight to your chest and just knowing that everything you need is already inside of you. What's the return start to look like? We have the Two of Cups, and this is often a relationship card, but in the context of this reading, I think this is about a relationship with the self. I watched an interesting video by Like Stories of Old yesterday, and it was the Knight of Cups, actually was the title of the video. It was a movie, and he was talking about the self as a verb rather than a noun. It is a relationship between the finite and the infinite, so that we're not looking for the infinite expanse within finite things, but we're relating to both at the same time, recognizing that the self is ever changing. So I think that this, after the flight to safety, this part of the return is from the ordeal is having this relationship, this embrace with yourself in love, unconditional love for yourself in whatever situation that you're going through. What's the final ordeal as we make our return? It's the Three of Pentacles. So I think these people are looking toward the future for whatever that Ace of Pentacles could be, and they're looking ahead now that they've established that relationship with the self. They've embraced themselves and accepted where they are. They're kind of just in the present moment, but looking ahead as well, and wondering what really can we do from here. It does look like things are becoming a little bit more clear. There might be a path that we can take if we just take those steps to try to build something. So if you have an interest, if you have a desire, if you have an idea in mind, just taking that first step. You know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, if that's how the saying goes. Let's cross the threshold back to the ordinary world, and we recognize here that the wheel of fortune is always spinning, sometimes in our favor, sometimes not, but there's change that is going to be coming, because anytime you go within and you make that acceptance and embrace yourself, we know for certain things are always going to change, but you are there for you, and that's a good sign there. Things are not stagnant. You might feel stuck, but things are gonna keep moving for you. So what happens after we cross the threshold and come back to our ordinary world from going within? What changes have we gone through as the hero? And what can we expect to encounter when we come back to the ordinary world and interact with others and our normal lives, our mundane lives? We have the Knight of Swords. So this is somebody that they've taken their idea now and they're sharpening it and they're pursuing it. And I think even through the course of this reading, there's been some things just coming to mind that as you look within and you remember who you are and what you love, what you want to do. You might have had that idea, but that feeling of being stuck and that inner critic was holding you back, and this person is on their bird taking flight as they're sharpening their sword and really looking at how sharp it is, feeling it out, touching it. So that's you just curiously investigating those things about yourself that you might be wanting to pursue. So what's the new status quo going to be? The Ace of Swords. So we went from the Page of Pentacles all the way to the Ace of Swords. So this person here has taken this little light that they're holding in their hand. It's some feeling, some intuition, some idea. And now they're realizing the potential of it. So let's just get a extra clarifying card, and I'm going to grab a different deck in order to do that. This is the Zen Tarot game, excuse that noise, this transcendental game of meditation, tarot cards by Osho. So let's just see, what is this new idea about, and how is it going to develop? A card fell out, I'm going to go with that one. Schizophrenia, duality. Look at that person hanging there in between two things, the old and the new. This is a hard place to leave somebody at. So let's go ahead and draw one more. I understand this. I can feel and relate to this. Maybe it relates to you. A lot of us might feel like we're just holding on for dear life in between where we are and the next step. This card is interesting. Let's see. Postponement. Waiting, waiting, waiting. And things are pretty gray for this person. They're looking at this picture like it's filled with color, and they're like, why just can't I be there? And I think that this is because, like the schizophrenic, they're hung up on ideas rather than embracing the moment that they're in. You know, life happens right now. So if you're making a cup of coffee right now, smell that cup of coffee, taste it with everything that you are, be present, and recognize the color of the sensations, of the smell, of the taste, of the warmth of that coffee, just as an example, as a metaphor. Be present in your room, in your office, on your phone, wherever you are as you're watching this. Feel the air around you. Feel all that energy and movement of what's going on in your body. Embrace the sunlight, and feel good, because that color is within you. They're looking at that color and they're thinking their life is black and white, but that color is happening through their experience, and so it is within you. Let's do one more, because I don't like leaving readings on, like, I gotta get something though, and I'm not gonna pull you to do an extended reading. Kind of pushing this video a little long right now. I know I've taken over 10 minutes of your time, and I'm so thankful that you're still here, and I want to give you something to encourage you if this hasn't been enough already. So let's get one more of the transcendental, and if I need to, I'll just pull another card from an oracle. I do have Ganesh, the remover of obstacles, so we might do that if we don't get some good key right here to open up some doors for us on this hero's journey. We have courage. Courage. Look at this plant breaking out of the stony ground. This reminds me of Tupac's poem, The Rose That Grew from the Crack in the Concrete. Look at that flower blooming in that golden green glow. Earth, lively, energy. It takes courage to have energy, and maybe you might be feeling a little lethargic and held down, having had all of those mental battles of entanglement. But get up, do something, do the dishes, get off the couch, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, go for a drive, call a friend, and remember that life is going to keep moving for you. You're not stuck. There is going to be change coming, and there is something to look forward to. So have that courage. I think that was a great way to end, but I've mentioned the Ganesh, and I'm not going to tease you and not deliver. So let's just pull one card from Ganesh, the remover of obstacles. just as a little bit more of an encouragement for that courage. Harmony. Look at that. Sacral chakra. That's an empowerment chakra right there. So take that courage, take that empowerment. You got the harmony within yourself by accepting where you are and having that relationship with the self as that intermediate, that connective source between the finite and the infinite. And everything is in harmony. Everything is as it should be, despite whatever is. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. Everything is harmonizing. And just have that positive affirmation that all things are working out for your good. Thank you for tuning into this reading. Bless.